Hello everybody, this is Shiley from Business Excellence Strategy Department. In episode number 11, we talked about the KPI. Today, as the last one of a 12-episode series, I want to go through process mapping. A process map is a planning and management tool that visually describes the flow of work. Process mapping involves gathering everyone involved in the process, such as administrators, contractors, and even frontline personnel, and determining what makes the process happen. Inputs, outputs, steps, and process time. A process map takes the information and diagrams it visually. In any large organization, even the simplest processes tend to get complicated over time. From the desk of person A to department B to division C, steps get missed, orders get forgotten, and important data gets dropped. By the end of a complicated or specialized process, everyone agrees something went wrong. But how do you fix it? The answer is process mapping. The visual aspect is key. If pictures are worth 1,000 words, then a well-executed process map could be worth $1 million or more in decision-making power. But the benefits go beyond making it easier to understand or simple to grasp. Let's review the benefits of process mapping. Mapping end-to-end processes in the organization helps to break down the noise by giving employees visibility of what they deliver and how it impacts not only other areas of the business, but also ultimately the customer. Process mapping helps employees understand where they fit within the organization and how they work as a cross-functional team. Visibility of the end-to-end processes, induction or training, visibility of process ownership, visibility of who is responsible and accountable for activity steps, cross-functional process visibility, and serving as the business management system, with helping to understand how processes are delivered to them, are some of the benefits of process mapping. First, try to map the as-is process and use this as a baseline to look at alternative ways to do things, or the to-be variants. You could even store data such as cost, total effort, and waiting time against the activities so that you can be sure that suggested changes are truly going to add value to the business through reducing costs, reducing duplication, and improving the overall service to the customer. Everyone in the organization performs a process, but who is ultimately responsible and accountable for specific activities? Process maps can provide visibility of who is responsible and accountable across the organization for specific process steps and show ownership for the overall process. Process maps are also a great resource for induction and training. What a perfect way to communicate best practice through an approved process map. Providing best practices, employees can search for processes based on their job role too. Process mapping tools typically have a bad reputation because the process maps are rarely used beyond the change projects. No wonder staff nag at the thought of using process mapping tools, because they have all done it before and never saw the process maps again. Process mapping tools should be useful, usable, and used. The key is to ensure the process map live past the change projects by making the processes reusable and sharing the processes across the organization. However, it is important to ensure that the process maps are easily accessible, easy to understand, and accurate. With an applied process governance, the organization could show the trend of continual improvement by building a history of changes to processes. In addition, this would ensure the organization does not inadvertently revert back to old ways of working, as there is evidence as to why, when, and by whom the process was changed in the first place. Process maps can be used to identify and show where risk has been identified within the business and what controls are in place or need to be in place to mitigate the risk. Sharing visibility and educating employees of risk areas and controls will prove invaluable, as knowledgeable employees will become proactive to mitigate the risk rather than reactive. Give employees a chance to find the answers themselves rather than asking their colleague or line manager. Process maps can be a valuable source of information and can link to procedures, work instructions, forms, videos, or anything that will help the employee to do their job. However, processes must be accessible and accurate, which is why you might want to invest in business process mapping. Thank you everybody for your watch and support through these 12 episodes. The excellence journey will never stop. We keep moving together.